let's talk about closing the appointment. Now, at this point, most likely you already did a fantastic job. You already did a great job. Now we need to close the deal, close the appointment. Now, most likely you already greeted, well, you went through the greeting process, you went through the qualifying process, you quoted the client, you made the quote realistic. So now it's all about getting a commitment on the appointment, closing the appointment. Now, since this is a transition from making the quote realistic to closing the appointment, you're going to be a bit repetitive on the information that you just used to make the quote realistic, and you're going to use some of that information to quote the deal. Now, you have to remember we need it today. Now, the mentality that I want you to have is either you're going to set up an appointment for today or for tomorrow or as soon as possible. Now, keep in mind, the longer you wait on appointments, the least chance of them actually showing up. So you want to emphasize on that. You want to emphasize on this deal is only good for today. It's only good for a couple of days. You know, this is a bargain. The longer you wait, the more you wait, the more this deal is going to be given to someone else because insurance companies don't have this available all the time. So you really got to emphasize on that. So right after giving them the information, you're going to ask them most. Usually, what I do is I tell them, you know, the $1 million question, or can you make it in today? And then wait until they respond, and then after you're gonna communicate more information. So, sir, let me ask you a question. This is $1 million question. Can you make it in today? Or you could just go and just give them a specific time. Sir, I have $1 million question for you. Now, I have an opening today at 6. Can you make it in at 6? And then wait until they respond. The majority of the time, they're going to tell you, no, I really don't have any time, whatever excuse they give you. So you're going to try to close the appointment. So, sir, I completely understand. And you know what? Matter of fact, it's pretty funny, but, we all use that same response, that we don't have any time, that we're limited on time. And matter of fact, I'm even limited on time myself, especially because I work 6 days a week. But let me ask you a quick question, sir. Now, since you are in control of your schedule, since you are in control of your time, this deal that I have available for you, is this a deal that you would want to take advantage? Absolutely, right? I mean, who wouldn't want to save money? So are you interested in saving money? Fantastic. And so beautiful. So why don't we do this? Okay, if you're not able to make it in today, I would love to set up an appointment as soon as possible. Now, let me share one of the things that some of the my other customers did with a similar situation like yours. Now, number one, since this is a bargain, I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be available tomorrow or if it's going to be available, within the next week or so. Literally, what the insurance companies do, they have a system where they'll put their rates, they'll lower the rates for a certain amount of time. So similar to like getting an airline ticket, it's a seasonal thing. So for insurance, it's not necessarily a seasonal thing, but it's based on their quotas. So if they want X amount of policies, they'll possibly lower the rates for 30 days or for 5 days or for a day. And then as soon as they meet their quota, they'll increase the rates again. So I wouldn't want you to come in within a week or 2 weeks and then for this rate not to be available. So what do you say? Why don't we do this? Why don't we check your schedule right now, you and me? Let's look into this. Is there anything that you can modify? Now look, we're open until 8 p.m. today. So if you're not able to make it at 5, what about 7? Start it. Asking them if they could modify their schedule. Now you really don't know. Maybe they don't want to. They weren't planning on doing insurance today or going to an insurance office, so it's not part of their plan regardless. But maybe they do have the time. Maybe they get off at 3. They just want to go home and take a nap. So at 5, you're interfering with their nap session. So you really don't know because you don't know their situation. So you have to assume that they're going to come in today or tomorrow. You're going to emphasize on today and tomorrow. So you're going to tell them, sir, I completely understand, but my goal is to get you into the office as soon as possible because the sooner I get you in, the sooner you can take advantage of this. And this is a bargain. This is a rate that is unbelievable. I haven't really had too many customers be lucky enough to qualify for this rate. So I know this is one out of 100, 1 out of 1,000. So I need you to come in as soon as possible. Now, 90% of my clients are happy, satisfied, because my goal is to get you guys in because I want to take care of you guys. I want you guys to take advantage of the rates. So if you're not able to make it in at 5, can you make it in at 7? They're going to say no. So what about tomorrow? Sir, now I understand tomorrow, at least we can plan it a little bit better. What about tomorrow? We're open from 10 to 8. Literally, we're open the whole day. So if you're not able to make it in the morning, what about the afternoon? If you're not able to make it in the afternoon, towards the end of the day. But I guarantee you, if you're able to squeeze in a good 15, 20 minutes to come down to the office, I guarantee you it's going to be worth it. Now, once again, don't forget, we work with 70 different companies. You're getting that loyalty discount. I'm able to save you those 80 bucks, those 60 bucks, $60. That's already $700 through the course of the year. I don't want you to throw your money away. I want you to keep your money as much as you can. So those $60 a month, if it's not available in a week, I'm going to be upset myself because my goal is to help you as much as possible. And keep in mind, there's no commitment whatsoever. We want to help you. So what time can you make it in tomorrow? Or you can just tell them, look, I have an appointment in the morning and I have one towards the end of the day. What works for you better? Would you rather come in the morning or towards the end of the day? What works for you better? And then let them choose. Now, ultimately, if you're not able to convince them to show up the same day or the following day, then just try to set it up as soon as possible. Of course, we're going to schedule an appointment. I mean, we're not going to send them away or make it seem like we don't want to help them unless they show up today. So then at that point, you're going to tell them, look, I completely understand. Let me help you based on your convenience. When do you think, how soon? What would be the soonest that you could make it in? And if they tell you within the next couple of days, then choose a date. Just tell them, I would remind them, look, sir, I guarantee you, let's make it as soon as possible. If they're asking for 2 weeks, what about a week? What about 5 days? Always minimize the gap from today until the appointment date, because the longer of a gap, the more chances of them forgetting. So they're gonna forget. They're gonna forget that they actually set up an appointment. So the sooner you could get them in, the better it is. And emphasize on that. Tell them, look, sir, last time I set up an appointment for 2 weeks, they forgot about their appointment. So why don't we do it for a week? What day works better for you, Friday or Saturday? That's literally within the next 5 days. So give them those options. Don't just go based on whatever they tell you. Try to convince them on setting up the appointment today, tomorrow, or at least within a week. Keep in mind, the longer of a gap, the higher chances of them forgetting. So use these tools, practice them. You have to be confident because you're literally you're persuading them to come in as soon as possible. So you don't want to sound too aggressive in a negative way. You want to sound aggressive in a positive way. You want to sound aggressive in a quality service concept. You're going to keep emphasizing, I want to help you. I want to help you. There's no obligation. There's no commitment. Take advantage of the rates. You qualify for this. This is a bargain. No one else qualifies. 90% of my customers are giving me an opportunity because they trust me. And I know you trust me because you've given me, more than a couple minutes. So I appreciate that. I always thank them. I appreciate the time and effort. Thank you for the time. Thank you for allowing me to have a conversation with you. So how soon can you make it in? And I always try to, give them information and go for the appointment. See what happens. Follow these steps.